We all have things that happen to us in life that we don't understand. Things that are taken longer than they should. Doors that have closed. We did the right thing, but we didn't get the promotion. Or people that have turned on us. A coworker said untrue things, and now it's set us back. It's easy to live frustrated and fight against everything we don't like. God, why is this happening? When are you going to turn it around? We think that it's holding us back. But Psalm 119 says, everything serves His plan. Not just the good things, not just the times when you're being promoted. You're seeing things change in your favor. We know that serving God's plan, we're moving forward. But we don't always realize is the delays are serving His plan. The betrayals are serving His plan. The person that walked away is serving His plan. That door that closed, the contract that didn't go through, if that wouldn't have happened, you couldn't reach your destiny. You wanted it so badly. What you couldn't see is God had something better. He loves you too much to let you miss your purpose. You may not like it. It doesn't seem fair, but it's serving His plan. That silent season, when you're doing the right thing, but nothing's improving, you're being overlooked. People with less experience, less talent are passing you by. That's an important time. You're being developed. You're getting stronger. Without that season, you wouldn't be prepared for what's coming. When you understand that everything serves His plan, then you don't live frustrated. When things are unfair, you don't get upset. When you don't get your way, you realize the closed door wasn't a bad break. It was God shutting the door. The person that walked away wasn't a coincidence. It was God moving them away. They were serving His plan. When someone serves your dinner, they're doing you a favor. They bring you the food, make sure you have water, clean the dishes when you're done. They're helping you, working for you. You need to see difficulties in a new light. That person at the office that's against you, always trying to make you look bad. Next time they do something unfair, instead of getting upset, under your breath, just whisper, "Thank you. You just served me." You can't reach your destiny without opposition, without delays, without closed doors. Why are you upset over something that's designed to move you forward? It may be uncomfortable. You may not like it, but it's serving you. God wouldn't have allowed it if He didn't have a purpose. Nothing can happen to you without His permission. Before Jesus could be crucified and rise from the dead, He had to be betrayed. Somebody had to lie about it, make things up. He had done no wrong. If everybody would have loved Jesus, if everyone would have celebrated Him, we wouldn't have salvation. Part of the plan of Jesus' life was to have opposition, people that didn't understand Him. It's not a coincidence that Judas, one of the 12 disciples, a person Jesus handpicked, decided to betray Him. Judas didn't come up with that on his own. He was a pawn in the hand of God. He was serving Jesus' destiny. You could say that Judas did more for Jesus than any of the other disciples. Without the betrayal, we wouldn't have salvation. But none of us like opposition, especially people coming against us, trying to make us look bad. How do you know that Judas' kiss is not about to unlock your destiny? How do you know the bad break, the disappointment, the betrayal is not setting you up for something you've never seen? You may not like it, but it's serving His plan. When Judas kissed Jesus, I can hear Jesus under his breath singing, "Thank you, Judas. You just served me. You just moved me closer to my destiny." That coworker that keeps getting on your nerves, you've been praying for God to remove them away for 6 years. You know why they're not moving? They're serving you. God is using them like sandpaper to rub the rough edges off you. You're learning to be patient, learning to be kind, learning to overlook an offense. The scripture says our steps are being ordered by the Lord. It doesn't say they're being suggested. If you weren't supposed to be there, you wouldn't be there. God allowed it because it's necessary to move you into your purpose. Now, quit being upset because of that person that's trying to make you look bad. You need them to reach your destiny. Don't be discouraged over the door that closed. Wasn't a coincidence. It's positioning you for something bigger. See, God doesn't take us from a straight line, from A to B to C. Sometimes He'll take you from A to B, then up to M, and then back to D, and then up to R. It may not make sense. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're going backwards. You have to trust Him when you don't understand. You have to know everything is serving His plan. That's why Paul said, "All things work together for good to those that love the Lord." All things may not be good. The sickness is not good. The loss is not good. But the promise is it's going to work for your good. Now the test is, while God is working it out, while it's not good, will you stay in faith? When you don't see any improvement, when it's uncomfortable, unfair, will you believe that God is still on the throne, that He's working behind the scenes, that what He started in your life, He will finish? I wonder if you're upset over something that's serving God's plan. A closed door, a person that walked away, a delay that's taken longer than you thought. It doesn't make sense. Stay in peace. It's all part of the plan. It may feel like it's hindering you. Really, it's helping you. It looks like it's setting you back, but really it's setting you up for something you haven't seen. God knows what you're going to need in the future. If you don't understand that everything serves His plan, you'll get bitter, discouraged, give up on your dreams. This is what keeps many people from seeing what God was doing behind the scenes. The reason Joseph saw it all come together is he kept doing the right thing when the wrong thing was happening. He kept being good to people who weren't being good to him. He passed the test. And some of the challenges that you're facing now, the things that don't make sense, it doesn't have anything to do with now. It's setting you up. It's positioning you for something in the future. If you will stay in faith, you're going to see how God begins to connect the dots, how it was all strategically orchestrated, all part of God's plan. If your hut is on fire today, instead of complaining, being bitter, have a new perspective. It's serving His plan. It may not make sense right now. Being in the pit is uncomfortable. Being falsely accused is not fair. The Judas kiss, the betrayal, the closed door, that can be discouraging. You have to keep reminding yourself it's not working against you. It's working for you. Sooner than later, you're going to see what God is up to. What you're tempted to be upset about, if you'll keep the right attitude, one day you'll look back and say, "Lord, thank you for closing that door. Now I see what you're doing, taking me somewhere better than I ever imagined. Lord, thank you for moving that person out of my life, or I would have never met my amazing spouse. Lord, thank you that company wouldn't hire me, or I would have never started my own business." Sometimes God doesn't remove the obstacle because He's using the obstacle to develop us. He's getting us prepared for where He's taking us. We don't grow in the good times, when everything's going our way, everyone's for us, things are falling into place. We like that much better, but we wouldn't reach our potential. We grow when it's difficult, when there's resistance, when we're uncomfortable, when we have to stretch. That's why you can't pray away every challenge. You can't pray away everything you don't like. If the situation is not changing, that God is using the situation to change you. If God made everything easy for us, if we never had a delay, a detour, a Judas kiss, we wouldn't be prepared for where we're going. God has amazing things in your future, things that you've never imagined. But to get there, you're going to have to defeat some big Goliath, overcome some big obstacle, outlast some strong opposition. It's not going to happen if you're weak, if you're overwhelmed, upset. God, Why is this happening? Now you have to stand strong and show the opposition that you're more determined than they are. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. That problem is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you. The challenge is not going to defeat you. It's going to promote you. Every day you stay in faith and thank God that He's working. Do the right thing when nothing is improving. Your spiritual muscles are growing. You are getting stronger, more determined, developing a greater trust in God. Instead of complaining about what's not turning around, see that as an opportunity to develop your faith. Don't just go through it, grow through it. It's serving His plan. It's there to get you prepared. Now, you have to do your part. Keep the right attitude. Keep being good to people who aren't being good to you. Keep excelling at work when you're not getting the credit. Keep thanking God when it's not turning around. Don't worry about nothing's changing on the outside. Something's happening on the inside. You're getting stronger. The psalmist said, "All my troubles turned out for the good." God is saying to you today, everything that's come against you is going to turn out for your good. The Judas kiss didn't feel good, the betrayal, but it's going to turn out good. It's leading you to a resurrection, to something you've never seen. The pit was uncomfortable. Being falsely accused wasn't fair, but it's taken you to your throne, to new levels of influence. The football injury was disappointing. The closed doors were discouraging, but God's about to open the door better than you've imagined. Perhaps your hut is on fire today. The medical report is not good. A child is off course. What you can't see is the Most High God is headed your way. Something that looked permanent is about to suddenly turn around. I'm asking you to trust Him when you don't understand. Don't fight everything you don't like. Stay in peace. Everything serves His plan.